Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the interview. This week's guest is Kelly Fernandez. Kelly is the head soccer coach over at Niceville High School for the girls team. And unfortunately, they just had a rough result last night, but that doesn't mean all hope is lost for the Lady Eagles soccer team. They've got playoffs coming up and a chance to just go through the competition the old-fashioned way, right? So, Coach, tell us a little bit about the game last night.
Well, we've had one of those seasons. We have a Nemes in South Walton, a local school, kind of our biggest rivalry the last couple of years. My seniors, 4 of them play with their 10. And when you put our 4 on the field with those 10, they get a little antsy. And the first game, they got in their own heads, and we lost 3-0 just with mistakes. If you go back through our film all year, it's kind of been that. We haven't given up earned goals. We've given up a counter on a mistake. And that's the game of soccer, I realize. But when I say an error, I mean like last night, our keeper, instead of clearing it, she mishit it and gave it to the other team in the box. And when she was trying to pass it to somebody outside the box, you hope they don't get to counter on that, but you hope those kind of errors never happen.
Yeah.
So we're very sound when it comes to the game. It's the errors that we keep making, and justly so. My coaches, staff, and I, we kind of feel we have a very quiet team. They don't like to talk, and it seems to be where the errors come from. Is when, for instance, in Gulf Breeze, hands down, we had them in their area. We did really well against Gulf Breeze. We made 2 bobbling mistakes that was, oh, you have it, but no one said, I've got it, and that's the kind of thing that's in our nemesis is. I think part of it is we get along so well. They seem to think they know each other's mind without saying it. So.
But I mean, you guys have still had a really good season. I mean, you guys won 11 games this season. So you guys have a very good soccer team, a fundamental soccer team, a team that plays well, especially at home.
Yes.
And so, as you guys look forward to the 2 big dates on the calendar for you guys next week, I guess the release of the playoff schedule, and then next Friday will be your first playoff game, which will be at home, right?
Yes. We play. We'll either be first or second place. We will know on Monday. The FHSA doesn't put it out till Monday. If we get first place, then it depends on what happens Friday, no matter what. But if we win Friday, we get home field advantage for the final. And the cool thing about that is if we win Friday and the boys win Friday, we're both at home the same night. We're going to play together. So we're going to play the girls first and the boys second if we are able to get our home field advantage.
And so looking into that, like the home field advantage that you guys have, I mean, you'll have pretty big crowds for a high school team, right? Playing soccer in the South. Like it's not football, and people are showing up for these games.
We do have that. And with that, I mean, in 40 degrees at that, and we have the biggest actual field, I think, of anybody. We have a true size field. You can go 120 by 80, and we're pretty close to that. Most of the complexes are in a football stadium where you can't get quite that wide. Obviously ours, we can't get, we have a short track, so we can't even get near that wide. But our field at Twin Oaks allows us to have a nice big field, a lot of space. We've brought in food trucks now. We kind of make it kind of a little fiesta of its own each game we play now.
So does that mean eventually you guys will get like a drum corps and like Tony the trumpet, or
I have. I tried bringing in the band last year, and the poor band, the guy that was helping the band didn't know when he could play and when he couldn't. So I got about 10 minutes during halftime, and even that, he was like, "Can we play yet?" I'm like, we're not on the field. Of course you can play. We're working on that.
So as you guys kind of prepare for the playoffs, what do you think are probably your key strengths that you're going to be leaning on into this next week, and what are the things you're really going to have to shore up?
I think, with soccer, like I said, first, soccer is a game of mistakes because you try very hard to make very few. The game is 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. It's a counter on a mistake. On our side, you can't win without scoring. And in our offensive third, we're kind of too nice to each other. We always look for the other guy to shoot and keep passing it around, and nobody fights for that shot. And we have one or two that would shoot instead, but we're also usually yelling at her because she had somebody to pass it to. You're never right unless you put it in the goal,
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I tell them all the time. I said, "But coach, you said," I said, "Yeah, but that was last time." This time
Man, okay, I'm having flashbacks to high school. So as this Friday approaches, you guys have several teams. What, 5 teams in your district? Who do you think is the most likely opponent that you guys will see next Friday?
Without a doubt, it would be Childs.
Yeah.
Childs is the one we're battling for first. We've played them already. We played them to a 1-1 draw. Actually, I think it might have been 2-2. Either way, we played them to a draw. Again, same thing. We gave up the lead. And to our fault, I tell the kids all the time, players win, coaches lose. It's during the season, and when you're struggling to score, you want to keep working on it. So even though we've got a goal and could pack the box and sit on a goal, we're trying to get that scoring thing down so that we can get ahead when it counts. So from here on out, we'll take our goal and work on the defense part because we need it,
Exactly. What do you want the fans and everybody at home to know about this game coming up? I mean, of course it's playoffs, so it's
loud helps. The more people there, the merrier. I mean, starting Friday night, especially, if you can be there and make some noise. Tuesday night in that cold, we got to play in the stadium. I do my senior night in the stadium, and that's the one thing we miss out on. It's louder, it's brighter, it's more like fan oriented because there's you're engulfed by it. So we need you. We need the fans. And looking forward, our players, we have 8 seniors and they play for their school. Only 2 are going to college to play. So, I mean, the rest of them are counting the days till they don't get to play anymore. And they want you to see them play.
And so who are the 2 that are going to college this year?
Ariana Jers and Katie Fincher, I think is how you say her name. Finker. There we go, Finker.
So have they decided on a school yet?
Ariana's going to Florida Florida New College.
She's going to New College. That's a great school. That's a fun little small liberal arts. That's awesome. Like that's my people.
Biology.
Yeah.
And then, so right now, Katie is between 2 schools. She's going for aeronautical, and they don't accept those until March.
Okay.
So she's kind of hush-hush on which one she's going to choose yet, depending on whether she gets in. There's one in New York and one in Mississippi.
Okay. And so, is it like so hush-hush that you can't name the finalists?
I don't remember the name of the school in New York.
No worries.
So that would be yes. Hush, hush.
So I just went to New York for the first time last week, and it is like both cold and so wonderful. So that's really cool that she has options.
She loved it up there. She's a military brat. She moved in this year. She's a move-in. She lived in Alabama as well. She's lived everywhere. I think she lived in Vegas. Anyway, she's really she's fit in really well. It's nice having her. Both of them are move-ins. Ariana moved in last year, and Katie moved in this year. So the kids that are here, girls especially, it takes a lot to push them to play because we're so smart. They can get a full ride academically. I mean, we did get the academic state champion twice. In the 2 years I've coached, we've gotten it both years, and they're that smart that even the ones that go for soccer tend to not play all 4 years because they need the time to study. So it makes it hard because I want them to play, but I'd like to have nice doctors and lawyers too. So
Hey, I get it. And so the final question I have that's soccer related, or at least high school soccer related, is a couple months ago, the Niceville City Council voted to re-turf one of the fields. Have they finished that? And are you guys going to use it next week?
I have not heard a yes to either one of those. I know that it is green, but I don't know if they go and literally pull the grass,
Yeah.
to see if it's sticking yet or how that works. I just know it's green.
Perfect.
So
well,
we don't have an answer yet.
Close is good.
Yeah.
And then finally, and a kind of like a fun tidbit, that your daughter Kayla is playing for Atlas in Mexico. Can you talk a little bit about how did that happen, and how did she get 90 minutes in her first game?
Right? We don't know. She was thrilled she got to travel, and then so it's really funny because she actually got to travel to the first game, and FIFA sounds so big. FIFA hadn't released her yet to play for Mexico. And you're like, FIFA? You mean like the game? No, like really the real FIFA, like the World Cup FIFA. So she did not get to play, and she was on the starting lineup. She walked in to see the starting lineup and then was pulled aside to say, we didn't get the okay yet. So she had to sit back and watch. So her first game that she was able to play in, we expected something, but not all 90. We kept watching every time they blow the whistle, going, and they going, no. Ah, oh, thank goodness. And then I've watched interviews with a bunch of pro players before, and as a coach in the pro level, it's really a matter of minutes, like how much you play your players and what game you're playing in, and strategy. What games they know they can win and what games they need to keep close. And so the next game she didn't start in, but once she's on, she takes every free kick, she takes every corner kick. So that says to me that she's doing her job. She's definitely making an impact. She chose to go to Mexico. It's kind of funny, and I hope this doesn't come back to haunt her one day, but she was tired of running. She wanted to play pretty soccer. The soccer in the United States is so strong and so fast and so athletic, and not finesse as much as what she grew up with, what we teach. And not that it doesn't have both, but it's hard to break in if you don't have the other. If you're not fast and strong and you're just finesse. And she's all the above. She just was tired of running after the ball. She wanted the ball, the tiki-taka stuff to happen. And she was looking forward to going to Mexico and touring Mexico and getting to know the country. And she had two choices. She wanted to either play in Spain or Mexico for the Spanish. She wanted to learn Spanish.
So the other thing, and I guess I'm like an Atlas fan now. I don't know, but like I've learned a lot about this team in the last 2 weeks. And the thing that I thought was really interesting is that your daughter posted something either on Instagram or something, but basically the rub of it is that your husband Jose is from Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, and she got to play against his hometown team. Was it Leon?
She did. Leon. Okay. Yes.
And so what was that like for your husband to see, like, hey, like that's my hometown squad and there's my daughter, like?
Well, and he actually played there.
Okay.
He played in the second division there, played with the first division, but there's a long story behind that one as well. But he, we're still on cloud nine. I mean, it's their dream and we get to watch it. And I don't think that, I don't know that there's an explanation of course we love to watch soccer, but for your kid to have a dream, chase a dream, and grasp the dream, it's just dreamy. I mean, how else do you say it?
Well, perfect.
So the hometown, any town, I mean, the neat thing about it was it wasn't in the hometown. It was in Guadalajara.
Right.
So if it was in the hometown, I think it would even have more meaning because the relatives that are still there would obviously be there. So that'll come. That'll come for sure. We might be at that game. We'll see.
Cool. Well, perfect. Well, Kelly Fernandez, head women's soccer coach for Niceville High School, professional soccer mom,
Yes.
in the sense that you are the soccer mom of a professional, and all around great person for humoring us here at Mid-Bay News. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. I appreciate the phone call.
So I'm going to pause this.